Gender and Nationality in Orlando. Orlando, a novel written by Virginia Woolf. A novel loosely based on the life of Virginia Woolf's lesbian lover, Vita Sackville. Orlando seeks a place of national belonging for a plural, masculine identified white woman. This is no easy task. In the 50 odd years preceding the publications of Orlando, the heyday of British imperialism, the morally upright, heterosexually respectable Englishwoman had come to be associated at home in the colonies with notions of racism. Orlando is often read as a novel about and lesbianism. As Simpson, Gilbert, Knopp, Whitelock, and talk about this lesbian romanticism and national aspect of Orlando. These other aspect of the identity such as race or nation. Woolf's novel published less than a week after the Well of Loneliness trial began in 1928 is a product of public anxiety and historical debate about the race and nation, national ideologies, and Anglo-Saxon racial homogeneity and heterosexual respectability. Shifting racial and gender demographics and by public anxiety about blurred gender roles, masculine women, and lesbianism. Tracing moral panic and censorship in 1920, lesbian novel and the films that proliferate throughout the decades as well as Parliament in 1921 attempts to criminalize lesbianism and sensational 1928 obscenity trial involved Redcliffe Hall's The Well of Loneliness helped make lesbianism an issue that occupied the general public. November 9, 1928, the trial of Redcliffe Hall and Virginia Woolf's exquisite case for the freedom of speech. Virginia writes, writers produce literature and they cannot produce great literature until they have free mind. The free mind has access to all knowledge and speculations of its age, and nothing cram it like a taboo. The Wall of Loneliness is a lesbian novel by British author Redcliffe Hall that was the first published in 1928 by Jonathan Cape. It follows the life of Stephen Gordon, an English woman from an upper class family whose sexual inversion or homosexuality is apparent from an early age. She while serving as an ambulance driver in World War II, but their happiness together is marred by social isolation and rejection, which Hall depicts a typical suffered by inwards and explicitly give us all the right to our existence. Bond stories, playful and poignant tales of clothes that encodes life's most meaningful memories. Variable emotional memories and John Hogman. Emily Sipwick says, almost a century before Emily Sipwick came to explore how clothes help us assert identity, Virginia Woolf wove the subject into Orlando, a biography, a novel that despite being a work of fiction, or rather a master work of fiction, brings articulated psychological truth about such perplexities as Vita Sackville West and Woolf's lover and muse who inspired Orlando. Captured the wellspring of wisdom perfectly in she's both detached and human. Lesbian experience, and when we talk about the expression of inner identity, Stephen is an ideal child of aristocratic parents, a fencer, a horse rider, and a keen scholar. Stephen grows to be a war hero, best-selling writer, and a loyal, protective lover. But Stephen is a woman, and her lovers are women. As her ambitions drive her and society confines her, Stephen is forced into desperate action. The Wall of Loneliness was banned for obscenity when published in 1928. So this in July 1928, 3 months before the publications of Virginia Woolf's groundbreaking novel Orlando, is a classic celebrated as the longest and most charming love letter in literature, which subverted censorship and revolutionized the politics of same-sex love. The English novelist and poet Redcliffe Hall, August 12, 1882, October 7, 1943, set into motion a cultural revolution with the publication of The Wall of Loneliness. The way gender and sexual identities are formulated and articulated was forever changed. Hall, but known to her loved ones as John, was an out lesbian and who dressed in men's clothing in a society and era when same-sex love was considered not only immoral but legally punishable in spring of 1928. A shifting racial and gender demographies and by public anxiety about blurred gender roles, masculine women and lesbianism. Tracing moral panic in censorship in 1920, Jeffrey Weeks observed that the lesbian novels in the film that proliferated throughout the decades as well as Parliament in 1921 attempts to criminalize lesbianism and sensational 1928 obscenity trial involved Redcliffe Hall's The Wall of Loneliness helped make lesbianism an issue that occupied the general public. A novel loosely based on the life of Virginia Woolf's lesbian lover Vita Sackville, Paul Gilroy. Paul Gilroy says that English nationality in particular always implies a racial claim. The politics of race is fired by conception of national belonging and homogeneity, which not only blur the distinction between race and nation, but rely on that very ambiguity for their effect. Given the extent to which ideologies of national inclusion depend on equating gender with performance of heterosexual respectability and equating national affiliations with the notion of racial belonging, one might conclude that gender and nationality can operate as essentializing ideologies of identity only if sexuality and race remain nationalities half hidden or forgotten. George Moss argues that before World War II, nationalism was a strong ideology because of the deployment of other controlling ideologies, such as an implicitly normal middle class, respectability, a term he explained that indicates decent and correct manners and morals, as well as the proper attitude towards sexuality. Tom 9 notes that whenever we talk about nationalism, we normally find ourselves talking before too long about feeling, instinct, suppose desire and hankering to belong, and so on. Indeed, national ideology often depend on essentializing equivalence between element of identity such as gender and sexuality. On the other hand, the race and nationality. Anderson talks about the nationality and gender and says, in the modern world, everyone should have a nationality as he or she has a gender. Of quotation mark around have highlighted the difficulty of choosing into take up an identity when ideology or nationalism mask this process as a formulation. Anderson implies that national identity is partly chosen and partly imposed. That it is a product like gender of both individual agency, everyone can, and collective constraint, everyone should have. Yet, Woolf's novel published less than a week after the Well of Loneliness trial began in 1928 is a product of public anxiety and historical debate about race and nation. And it only ambivalently contests national ideologies of Anglo-Saxon racial homogeneity and heterosexual respectability. Orlando is the story of unmarried Elizabethan lord who became a woman. At first, Orlando lives and travels as a woman, sleeping with women he chooses. However, when Orlando takes a femininity, she becomes the kind of superfluous woman whose sexuality, because it is less than respectable, is unidentified. Virginia Woolf's Orlando can be read as an ambivalent articulation of English nationalism in 1920s, an era in which the essentializing imperatives of Englishness at one less imperial and more inwardly looking, more domestic and more private. Thank you.